welcome. Good evening to everybody. My name is Joseph, and I am a senior advisor from the University of Manchester. Welcome to our first in 2021 face-to-face / online information session. We're so happy that you're here. Trust me, I'm smiling right now, but unfortunately you cannot see it. But I'm really happy seeing you here today, all of you. And we welcome you for another great year in 2021. And today we'll be discussing more about our programs with the University of Manchester. So if you're here to know more about your plan into the future and pursuing your degree, you're in the right place. William?
Fantastic, brilliant. So today we're obviously going to talk about the Manchester Global Part-time MBA, but first and foremost, I quickly want to take you through a couple of facts about Manchester, of course, just to introduce you to the city as well. So Manchester, as many of you would know, is the second largest city in the UK after the capital London, of course, renowned for its vibrant cultural scene, of course. You may know some of our famous artists and some famous musicians as well, such as Oasis and Benedict Cumberbatch. He's actually a graduate of the University of Manchester, and he is Doctor Strange. He plays Doctor Strange in the Avengers, so many of you may have seen those movies before. We're also very, very reputable for our two football teams, which are Manchester City and Manchester United. Of course, I'm sure many of you have heard of these two teams, especially that Manchester City is actually owned by Abu Dhabi, our neighbours here in Dubai. So in addition to that, we're of course very known for our creativity, our entrepreneurial spirit, and our vision, of course. So it is the place where the very first atom was actually found and split, thus launching the field of nuclear physics, and that's Ernest Rutherford that actually made this discovery, and he was actually awarded a Nobel Prize for this. And it is the first place where we created the computer. So it was done in Manchester, and we've actually done many more things as well. So it's a really, really dynamic region and part of the UK and England as well.
Great. I want to come back, William, and the two football clubs. I want to ask a few people here. If anyone was a Manchester fan here? There you go. There you go. 1, 2, how many? 1, 4? Anyone Liverpool here? No discount for you guys. I'm so sorry. No discount, yeah? Just kidding. Well, that's good. I like what William said. We have the best two football clubs so far. We're not good in ranking, though, but we're picking up, hopefully. Right? So that's good. Now, we'll talk about more about today about the quality, international exposure, practical business education, transformational experience, and of course, the flexibility of the program. All right? Now, let's talk about first the University of Manchester. We've been here for the past 200 years now. Imagine how long the university has been. The oldest university in Manchester, in fact. And we hold the 25 Nobel Prize winners since 1906 till 2010. These are from physics to medicine to architecture, whatever you call it. We are mainly focusing on the 25 Nobel Prize winner for the past years now. And of course, we also have the triple accreditation crown, which has about 100 universities has it across the globe, and we are part of it. Triple accreditation is important whenever you're choosing a university because it has to have a very good foundation of business and MBA program in the world. ACM, ACSB, AMBA, and EQUIS is the highest accrediting body when it comes to business and MBA program and quality system across the globe. So we are part of that. And of course, we're current rank 5th in the UK, 11th in Europe, and 45th globally. Yeah.
Fantastic. Just to add to that as well, the university overall is actually ranked 27th in the world, so it's actually an extremely well-reputed and elite university worldwide. And when it comes to the University of Manchester Middle East Centre, it was actually founded back in 2006 by Larry CISO, and we've been running the MBA program ever since, so it's been running for about 14 years now. As you can see, we've graduated over 1,800 students, and we've supported 2,800 students as well. And I don't know if you can see here, but we have over 100 nationalities on the program as well. So it's actually a very, very reputable university with all these different programs. Of course, we are part of a large network of centres as well. So as you can see, we have 6 different global centres, which we'll tap into a bit more in a short while. But we are part of the team of Manchester, Dubai, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Sao Paulo in Brazil as well. And we offer actually 5 different programs at the moment as well.
The 5 programs, like what William said, is the Global Part-time MBA, the Kelly Manchester Global MBA. We have the Educational Leadership in Practice, that will going to happen in September, and the Real Estate Masters, and the first time that we're going to be bringing financial management here in the Middle East this coming September. So if you have friends who want to do MBA, they want to do some programs in real estate, financial management, or educational leadership, please, we'll be more than happy to welcome them into the program.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As William mentioned earlier, we have 6 hubs across the globe. We have a center in Singapore, of course, Dubai, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, Hong Kong, and of course, our main center in Manchester.
Now, the thinking behind this is actually that Manchester wanted to make sure that world-class and elite education was accessible to anyone across the globe. So instead of you having to travel all the way to Manchester to take part in world-class programs, we try and bring Manchester to you. That's what we've done with these different centres. You will have the opportunity to travel to these centres if you'd like to as well, and Joseph will quickly tap onto that when we talk about the structure of the programme, but it is very much worthwhile because, as you can imagine, hiring managers of international companies like individuals that are looking for diversity and new horizons as well. So you will have the opportunity on the Global MBA to travel as well if you wish to do so. Moving on to practical business education. So the University of Manchester is extremely focused on a practical method. So our motto is learning by doing. So we're extremely focused on group projects, personal assignments. So there are no seated exams during the course of the program because we want to make sure that you use the knowledge that we provide you with in your own personal, professional environment so that you can have an impact on your own work and ultimately have an impact on your career, because that's the whole point of the MBA, of course. So we focus on the Manchester method, so group work, practice-based learning and reflection. As well as that, you have the opportunity to visit us 3 times a year for interactive workshops with leading academics and business partners, and we'll tap into that in just a short while when we'll talk about the program structure as well. Joseph will talk to you about that. But that means that you will have the opportunity to connect with the students and the faculty as well from Manchester. Not only that, most core courses have a minimum of 24 hours of teaching, more than most full-time programs. So that's extremely important because sometimes you think that there's a bit of a lack of face-to-face time with faculty, but you just condense that into shorter, more intense studying hours as well. And we'll get onto that in just a little bit. The MBA is structured around business themes rather than traditional subjects to stay relevant and up to date with what's happening around the world, of course. You will have the opportunity to go through 2 business projects, so group work, very involved yet again to make sure that you can connect with other people, share knowledge as well, because that's where the real wealth of the MBA is as well. And you'll have the choice of electives so to specialise during the course of the program as well. And Joseph will tap into that just now.
There we go. So the way we would have a better understanding of the program is if we get to know the structure of it and the commitment you need to invest towards your educational journey. And by looking on this graph right now, you get to see here the modules, the days of workshops you'll be attending, and of course, you get to have the year 1 on the left part, and you get to have the year 2 on the second portion of the screen. Now, the best to understand is that the program is a blended learning approach. It's a combination of having access online and attending your workshop. It means that you have the access of the online modality in terms of you being guided through it. It's a self-study. It's not something that you need to be there on a specific time frame. We are not an online degree to begin with. The use of the online platform is for you to know what you need to do when you do assignments, when you attend tutorials, lectures, online, when it comes to a live or recorded session, depending on your availability. The use of the online platform is for you to know what you need to do next. So that's open for you 24/7. Now, for the workshop activity, it's going to be the time that you'll be more involved physically when you meet your classmates, when you see your professors from UK. Now, with our situation right now, as you would know, it was different from before. But now we are very positive that hopefully by July, we are back in our feet right again, and we can see you face-to-face for the workshop activity, hopefully by that time. But In terms of schedule, in terms of workshop activity, you get to see their numbers here. These are going to be the attendance you'll be doing in every 6 months. So for example, you decided to start in the upcoming intake in July, you'll be attending a 5-day workshop. Okay, so 5-day workshop taking place in July. You'll be coming back in September for 6 days, and you're coming back again in March for another 6 days during the first year of your journey with your MBA here in the Middle East, primarily in Dubai Center. The reason behind that is, first thing and foremost, it's your home base. Secondly, we want you not only to learn from the highest academic that you can progress with the MBA, we also want you to build a network. And trust me, it's important. Majority of you here probably are managers or senior level. You would know better than me how important networking would be, right? Sure.
Just one small question now. For days, is it like 6 hours or something like that?
Well, the way we're gonna have it is from 9 to 5 p.m. Practically, that's the time frame. We're gonna have it not over the weekend. We want you to really focus on those days to take a leave of absence. A lot of people are doing online workshop into weekend or weeknight classes. We're like doctors on call. We'll never know when to stay back in the office or to stay during the weekend just to work. That's why we want you to really focus and take a break and ask permission to go on this 5 days to really focus on what you've invested. That's the whole point of it. Yeah? Continue? Good. So it's happening, everything in Dubai. So you are going to be building that network. You're going to see your professors from UK flying all the way down from UK. Babasi from our careers is here to give us more insight about I would say, the advantage building that network here in the Middle East. Okay? So first year, all happening in Dubai. We're going to be focusing on the second year now. On your second year, you'll be seeing another 4 days in July, 6 days in September, and then 3 days in March. The difference on the second year is that this time you can choose your electives. You have about 24 options to choose. You can choose 3 of the electives that you want to pursue. And after completing the program, if you want to study more, we're going to give you 1 more elective for free. You know, if you're still up to it, which I'm sure you are, right? So the electives is something that you'll be choosing. Now, for your electives, you can attend this in any centers across the globe that we mentioned earlier. You can go to Brazil, Hong Kong, Singapore, Sao Paulo, Shanghai, and in Manchester, because we will provide you 6 nights of accommodation for free to take your elective workshops on those centers I mentioned. The beauty of the second year is for you now to build a network globally. In the first year, we're talking about Middle East as a network to build in. When we're focusing on the second year, we're now focusing now on you building a network in Manchester, in Singapore, wherever closest hub that we have, you can build that network because you can attend your workshops. Now, if you don't want to travel, you just want to take it in Dubai, absolutely, you can do that. It's going to be your option. All right? So,
Brilliant. So now we're just going to have a quick look at what a typical semester looks like for a particular module. So for example, we've taken leading and managing in a global environment, which is a core module that you will be doing in your very first year. So what happens is that, as you can see, there are a couple of different icons. I'll just introduce them quickly to you. So these sort of like computer icons represent online tutorials that you will have. The 3 days here represents the workshop days that you have for this particular module. And the sort of document sheet that you see here represents assignments that you may have. So as you can see, before the start of, well, before actually attending any sort of workshop, you'll have a couple of online tutorials with your lecturers. You'll be able to get introduced to them as well, and they'll kind of outline everything that you'll be covering during the 6 months of leading and managing the global environment part A. After that, you'll have to attend a 3-day workshop. As you can see there in July, where you will actually have an assignment to complete. So not to worry, it's not a written assignment, it's not an exam. What you'll have to do is a bit of a small, short group work in a small group. So you'll have to submit that during 3 days that you have for this particular module. Then you'll have a couple of more online tutorials to cover some stuff with the professors and the lecturers, and they'll outline obviously what you have to do to finalize the module as well. So this will be personal assignment that you'll have to give in to the lecturer as well for this particular program. So overall, it's approximately 8 days of residential workshops every semester. So it's a 30 days of face-to-face overall during the entire course of the program. It's obviously online lectures and and face-to-face as well. And of course, you have access to the MBA Plus, which is the Personal and Professional Development Network, which includes, of course, having access to our careers department here in the Middle East, as well as the global careers department based out of Manchester as well, which is extremely useful.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, you do have your workshops that you can attend in Dubai primarily during the first year. And of course, your option to do your elective workshops in any centers on your second year. You also have the ability to pause the program because you have a minimum years you have 2 years minimum to complete your MBA and you have maximum 5 years to do it. In the event, for example, that you need to take a break in every 6 months time, you can do that as long as you can do your program within 5 years. So in some cases, it would happen. Financial work issue. If that case happened, we're here to help you out with that. All right. Also, at the same time, when it comes to the online platform, we recommend, and I'm sure we have an alumni here later on, so I'm going to help us more about that and maybe answer the questions that you might have about the study time. But we would like to recommend for about 2 to 3 hours per day for about 4 days a week in actively browsing and checking what's going on in your classes. Again, different practices happen. Different practices can be assisted by your advisors when you start your program. So it all depends on what convenient way for you to do it. Choice of electives, we discussed that earlier. The online learning portal, as Wendy mentioned, we have tutorials conducted in UK when it comes to some questions you might have online.
Absolutely, and just to let you know, so these online tutorials are always recorded for more convenient, simply because I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, are working professionals, so you need to have that sort of flexibility to re-watch these tutorials or to go back to them if you need to go back to them as well. With the ability to pause or extend the program as well, you won't be required to pay any sort of fees during the time you are not studying, so that's very important. Imagine you have different commitments or something comes up, you will have the ability to pause the program as you have up to 5 years to complete it. As well as that, to 20 hours of personal study. So some individuals, depending on the module, may need more or less. Let's say you're doing the accounting and finance module and you're a finance director, you may have a bit more ease going through the material that is given out to you than someone doing marketing, for example, and vice versa. If you're going through the marketing and operations module and you have a finance background, you may need more time. So it really depends on what you're good at and your strengths and weaknesses as well. So this is just a general sort of time that we give to prospective and current students as well.
For MBA programs, we have 3 options for you to choose. Well, it all depends on the criteria. You'll be allowed to do so. You have the 2-year program for the Global MBA. We have the 18-month Finance Accelerated MBA for those of you who have financial qualifications like CIMA, IMA, ACCA. You're a CPA holder for that matter. You can continue with this program without you taking any financial classes anymore. We also have the Global Accelerated MBA, which is an 18-month program for those of you who have like 8 years plus experience on a managerial level.
Absolutely, and just to let you know, for the Finance Accelerated program, even if you do have a bachelor's degree in finance or a master's degree in finance, we cannot consider you unless you have a finance qualification such as the ACCA, CIMA, CPA, etc. So that's very important to keep in mind. And for the 18-month program, if any of you have any specific questions with regards to that program, because it doesn't apply to everyone, I admit, so you can definitely come see us or ask us questions after the session. So moving on to the Kelly Manchester Global MBA as well. So this is a joint degree program that we offer with Kelly School of Business, which is based out of Indiana in the USA. You do get to have 2 degree certificates at the end of this program. So this is really for those that consider important having a degree from a UK institution as well as from a US curriculum as well. So as you can see, very similar structure to the Global MBA program. It's still in a blended learning format. So as you can see, the induction is 6 days in Bloomington, Indiana. So that's where you'll have the first 6 days. In your second semester, you'll have 6 days, which can be done in any of Manchester's global centres as well. In the third semester, you may have 5 days in Washington, depending on which Kelly elective you do decide to take, but otherwise there will be no face-to-face. And in your fourth and final semester, you'll have 6 days at any of Manchester centres as well. So just to let you know, Kelly School of Business's electives are fully online usually, so you don't have any sort of face-to-face for them, apart from the 5 days in Washington, which can be done in the third semester, but any other module given by Kelly School of Business is actually done online, whereas of course Manchester's one are delivered in a blended learning format as well. Now, moving on to transformational experience. Now, this is obviously extremely important because, as many of you know, you're undertaking the MBA for a particular reason. You want it to really change your professional career and your life as well, don't get me wrong. So these are some of the things that will really help you in achieving that. So online career seminars, we do run them very, very often as well. So we have them done by our careers and alumni relations manager, who's actually based out of the Middle East Centre. We also have global online career seminars that are led out of Manchester as well. We have over 60,000 global alumni as well, so I can guarantee you that anywhere you go in the world, you will have someone that has graduated from the University of Manchester. And as many of you know, this is extremely important to kind of keep the connection with the university because it will definitely help you in your professional career as well. Elective overseas, so we already spoke about that a little bit. So obviously this is extremely important for those of you who want to really reach new heights in international, multinational organizations, because this is really, really important for hiring managers. They want people that are curious, that are looking to diversify themselves and develop themselves and learn new skills as well, and different things that are done abroad. So obviously it is a good opportunity for you to do that by traveling during the course of the program. We have alumni groups and social groups based in the Middle East as well. So we obviously have the one that covers the entire region, but we also have individual country social groups. So we have one based in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, and other Middle Eastern countries as well. With regards to the UAE group, for example, I know that before COVID, the first Thursday of every month, you would have a gathering of all the alumni of the university so that they could connect with each other and still keep in touch as well. So it's a very good opportunity for you to stay connected, and you will make friends for life and you will be learning from them, as I will talk to you in just a bit. We do have speaker events, so we do bring industry experts as well to really give you the updated versions of what's happening around the world and new themes and new topics as well. So that's, of course, extremely useful to many of you, I'm sure. Colleagues from a wide range of industries. Now, this is extremely important because you will learn as much from your lecturers and professors as you will from other classmates as well. I can guarantee you that if there is a marketing manager here, for example, that wants to learn more about how to manage a finance budget, you will find a finance director or finance manager on this program who will be able to teach you the best practice of what he does in his own company. And you can see and reflect on that and see if that's actually translatable within your own professional environment as well. So that's extremely, extremely valuable. And then, of course, the global networking events that take place around all the different centres that Manchester has. That kind of gives you the opportunity to connect with a global alumni group and a global student group as well. And obviously, you want to meet employees, you want to see and hear from them how you can get into these organizations and what's the best practice as well to apply to these jobs as well that you're seeking. So extremely important events that we do run here in the Middle East as well as globally.
It was looking back 9 months ago. We have a lot of events happening, of course, hosted by HIBA when it comes to our network. And for some of you who wants to see that, we still have in our networks to look at in the videos that we have online. You can still see that. I mean, at least to give you some push that we're doing a good global network and we're helping each other out as like a bigger family here. So, you know, maybe after COVID, it's going to be a better year for us, a better network that we can build. But HIBA is not stopping, even virtual. She's doing it with the rest of the team. So we can manage to do that. So,
well, if I may just add. First, I would like to welcome you all to our first hybrid event. And I'd just like to highlight a little bit the role of the postgraduate career service and alumni relations. We understand that making these decisions, doing an MBA, is extremely important for you, and especially for your personal development and for your professional development. And that's why the Postgraduate Career Service puts your career at the heart of the MBA program. So we want to make sure that by the time you complete the MBA program, you would have not only gained the business concepts and the business knowledge, but you have also transformed as a person. Transformation happens throughout the 2 years program. And we do that through all the activities that we run from the day that you join us and from the induction day, when you're not only a student, but you're also considered an alumni. So you will have access to our online networking professional platform, which is the Manchester Network. And once you join the Manchester Network, you would be connected to the 500,000 or 500,000 alumni, which are across the globe. This is from day one. You also have access to our careers platform. You will also have access to our events. And we want to make sure that we raise your employability and visibility skills during and after the MBA. And we do that through the different sessions that we throw throughout the program. So you will have access to industry speaker events. You can go back to the previous session because I want to highlight some of these events. So you will have industry speaker events. We will bring guest speakers where you can learn from them more about different industries. So if your professional goal is to do an MBA and to transfer to a different role and function, a different industry, you will be able to gain knowledge through these guest speaker events that we're hosting. We'll also host alumni panels. We want to make sure that you benefit from the learning journey of our alumni. Most of these are in senior positions, in key positions, and they're going to be in your network. You will be learning and listening to their journeys and how the MBA has helped them, transform personally and as well as professionally. You will also have access to personal development sessions as well as employability sessions. For the personal development sessions, you will have one-to-one career sessions where you will sit with a career consultant, career coach. You will understand your career goals. We will sit with you, draw out a career plan, and make sure that at the end of the MBA program, you will have drawn a plan and move towards your goal. You will also have access to personal development sessions such as time management, personal branding, what else? Other sessions that will help you throughout your personal journey. And we want to make sure that you transform as a person. We understand that the hard skills, the knowledge is important for you in your career, but transforming and gaining these soft skills are equally important, if not more important, for you in your next journey. We'll also have access to employability sessions. And these sessions, they start by understanding your position in the market, evaluating your skill set, how to write a CV, how to write a cover letter, how to do interviews. So we'll go through everything. We want to make sure by the end of the MBA, you would have gained the knowledge, you would have gained the business concepts, but you have also transformed as a person. You have also gained soft skills, you've gained employability skills, and you're ready to make that change in the market. We work alongside career coaches across all centers. So if your goal is to move to a different country, to find work in a different, outside the Middle East, we will be able to connect you with our colleagues in different centers where you will gain from their experience, understand the market, connect you to alumni in other regions as well. So there are so many benefits that you will be able to start enjoying once you join the MBA journey. And if you're unsure if the MBA fits your career goals, just send me an email and I'll be happy to sit with you and try to understand your career aspirations and how the MBA can help you progress personally and also professionally.
Thank you so much. Well, there's more people later on, trust me. You can ask her questions about networks and anything about career coaching. He'll be more than happy to answer that for us later on. Now, for the application, I understand that there's a lot of thinking to do, which is very understandable. But for us, we just want you to try and understand first where you stand in your decision at this moment. We would like to help you out. We would like to counsel you. So after tonight, we would like to send you an email, perhaps to set up an appointment with you all to discuss more about why you want to do an MBA. What's the reason behind it? What's your motivation in doing it? Let us help you out to do that by talking to you, reaching you in WhatsApp if possible, and communicating to you in terms of learning more about your interest for the program. Now, but if you decided to go for it at this point in time, you can start filling up an application form, which we will send to you. When you're done with your application form, which primarily talks about yourself, we will be doing a test online. We call it the Manchester Admission Test. It's a 45-minute exam about verbal, logical, and numerical parts, each with 15 minutes for you to complete. You don't need to do TOEFL, GMAT, or GRE for you to pay for that even. You only have to do our test and our application, and of course, it has to go for an extensive review from our department in order for us to determine your eligibility as a candidate. You don't have to pay for anything. So this is more of you trying to find out your eligibility first before making that decision. And when that decision comes, we're here to help you out, understand you better, and to give you the options that you might have in terms of your decision. So let us try to help you out by communicating to you, hopefully by tomorrow, if you will be interested to do so, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. All right?
Now, probably the slide you've all been waiting for the most, which is the fees of the program, of course. Currently, the price of the Manchester Global Part-time MBA is $36,297, as you can see on the screen there. This is payable in 4 different equal installments across the 2 years of the program. So every semester, every 6 months, you'll be required to pay a quarter of the entire tuition fees. Now, in terms of early application discounts as well, we have a 10% early bird application discount, which is currently on offer. Now, this is on a first-come, first-served basis, so this won't be indefinite, and this will be running for the next couple of months or so, but no more. And in terms of corporate discounts as well, they're up to 15%, and these are exclusively for partners of the University of Manchester. So if you aren't sure if your company is part of our broad list of corporate clients, then please feel free to come and see me after the session or ask me online as well. I'd be happy to do that for you. Currently, we are recruiting for the July 2021 intake very soon as well. So in a couple of days' time, we're actually closing our January 2021 intake very successfully. We have around 86, 87 students at the moment that are enrolled in that particular cohort. So we're extremely excited about that, and I'm sure that all of you are extremely excited to start your journey as well. So this is specifically for the Global MBA program. And then for the Kelly Manchester Global MBA, the fees are $68,250, which is the same principle, so 4 different installments every 6 months, every semester of the program. And then there's a merit-based scholarships, which is awarded from Kelly School of Business of up to 15% of the entire fees as well. And for this specific program, we only have 1 intake every year, which is in July. So if you'd like to consider the intake, this is the right time probably to do so.
There you go. I think I'm going to save the questions for later on, but for the meantime, I want to acknowledge all our audience that's watching on Zoom right now. Please feel free to ask questions now, because we have our special guests here for today, and we would like to introduce them first. And you can ask questions later on, because they are the alumni of the University of Manchester. They would probably know better than us the experience and the journey that they had over the past years. So first thing and foremost, we would like to introduce our first guest. All right. Musab Zarka is a supply chain professional with over 15 years of experience in a variety of strategic and commercial roles within supply chain in the MENA region. He created concepts and managed the value chain through the election life cycle till successful completion. Most recently, he headed the supply chain logistics department at Fortune 500 oil and gas company Total. Some of his achievements include redesigning a regional supply chain network, which optimized costs and reduced carbon footprint, and raising awareness about transport safety in the region. He graduated from the MBA with distinction in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, Musab Zarka.
Online, we also have two of our distinguished alumni with us this evening, so we're extremely grateful for your presence here as well this evening. With us, we have Rami Bawalsa. Rami is a management and business development consultant with over 14 years of professional experience in the fields of organizational development and human resources. He has extensive experience in the MENA region, acquired through leading and participating in projects in Kuwait, Saudi, Oman, the UAE, Sudan, and Jordan as well. Rami is currently an associate director for regional consulting firm ProCapta and has previously worked at PCG and Talal Abu Ghazala organization, and he is a current student on the Manchester Global Part-time MBA. As well as that, we have Tim Shelton with us as well this evening. Tim is actually an industry and academically acclaimed strategist, digital enabler, and change leader, transforming and driving business excellence and innovation through industry, global enterprise, and major capital programs. He has over 18 years of work experience gained through working in both client-side and consultant roles in the UK and the Middle East. He is currently a digital transformation lead for the Middle East for global design and consultancy firm Arcadis, and he's a graduate of the University of Manchester MBA from back in 2013, graduating with distinction as well.
We also have a great privilege, William, in having, of course, the Manchester staff here tonight. We have Hiba Abbasi, of course, from careers. We have Alumni here from operation, from the support team as the operation manager. And we have, of course, Jocelyn Nadal from marketing, and of course, our director, Brandon Masisa. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, we would like to ask first question, if you don't mind, Musa. I'll start with you. And then for those of you watching right now, please write your questions and then be ready for it, because we'll be more than happy to listen to those questions later on. Highlighted to Musa, Rami, and of course Tim, and of course Hiba as well, and the rest of the team. So for us to have a better understanding, Musa, I hope you don't mind, when you're considering the MBA, how do you select the right school during that time? What was the criteria that you were checking the marks during that time?
Well, basically, I looked at the ranking. I asked for friends or like alumnus of the university. I got their feedback on the program itself, on the workload during the program, and I've also done some research on the employability of the candidates or the alumni of the University of Manchester, and this was my main criteria in selecting these programs. And finally, I landed on the University of Manchester, which is, I think also it presents value in comparison to other programs within the region, and it's quite flexible because I was not able to travel a lot. So it was very also convenient at that level.
I see.
Brilliant. We also have a question for Rami. I know, Rami, that you're in the business of consulting, of course. So we've actually seen and analysed that we've actually had a lot of interest from individuals in consultancies. And I was just wondering, in that case, if it's still a very important degree to have. Obviously, mainly what happens is that junior consultants, after a couple of years, will decide to go for an MBA. Is that some sort of requirement these days? Is that why you did your MBA as well? What's the sort of thought process behind you joining the MBA?
Definitely. So basically, I think everyone chooses to pursue an MBA program for different reasons, many of which are related to career progression for the individual himself. Regarding the consulting, I think being a consultant or an advisor gives a connotation that you have different knowledge and you absorb different trends and industry practices across different disciplines and from different countries. And I therefore think that the MBA program is very beneficial, that it allows consultants or professionals working in the consulting field to add value to their clients.
Thank you very much for that, Rami. And over to you, Tim. We'd just like to focus a little bit on the degree itself, because obviously the MBA degree has a lot of value and can be used in many different ways, and it has that sort of prestige to get top jobs in general. But it is also how much you put into your particular program. So how much you put in terms of effort throughout the entire program to maybe network with other students and to make the most out of the material that's there. So how important has it been for you to actually put as much as you can through the MBA and to really make the most of it after you graduated as well, not so relying on the MBA, but maybe some of the skills as well and different things that you've acquired throughout the program?
No, absolutely, and I think so it's quite a bad echo. I think you, like a lot of things in life, you get out what you put in, and I think with the opportunities that the Manchester degree gives you in terms of networking with your fellow colleagues, you know, with learning in different ways, in being able to travel. I think it's really important just to, you know, maintain that that kind of growth mindset throughout everything. You know, you'll encounter a lot of challenges throughout the program. That is certain. Time is a big challenge, obviously. You know, life goes on throughout your 2 years. You have to remain flexible, but I certainly think it teaches you a lot of life lessons in terms of how you become more agile in your learning, how you prioritize, how you connect, how you rely on others in order to, you know, to come through the program collectively. The biggest thing that I took from the program undoubtedly was the contacts that I made, and also the models and the toolkit that Manchester provides you that you can then proceed to apply, you know, throughout your career. I'm still using frameworks and tools that I picked up on the course, you know, currently in my job. I think the other thing I'd like to say is, you know, we've been through this tremendous transition over the last 12 months with the pandemic, and I work with a lot of companies who are desperate to change, they just don't know how. From my perspective, it's through you know, implementing new technologies and innovating both from a cultural perspective, but also their business models and their operations. Without having the fundamental knowledge and understanding of how a business operates from a holistic perspective, you're never going to be able to provide that level of advisory. So I think, you know, that's one major thing that the program provided me. I think, you know, in summary, as I said, you get out what you put in. The program offers you a tremendous amount of opportunities, not just from an academic perspective, but also from getting to know yourself and how you make those contacts within the contemporary business environment.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ted.
Yeah, I also want to jump into Hiba now. Just a quick one, Hiba. What role does the career service play, and how effective can this be in this current situation?
Well, the career department, I mean, offers a lot of career sessions. We focus on understanding the employability and the recruitment of the market. So we host a lot of sessions where we invite recruiters to come and speak to our students about the market. So every year, and we have a major career event where we host corporates. We just had our latest one in September. We had more than 15 corporates from the top corporates here. We had panelists who are recruiters, and they gave us insights about the market, employability, recruitment. We host also other events which would add value to your career. So all these will ensure that you will gain insights and knowledge about the market, which is going to help you in your career if you're trying to make a shift or if you're trying to make a move, to give you a better understanding of how the market is doing.
Thank you, Hiba. Thank you. I have a quick question for Rami as well. Rami, as you are currently a student on the program as well, how have you been sort of transitioning from, you know, some of the face-to-face that you've been doing? How have you managed that sort of transition to online studying as well, a bit more than would usually be the case? Has it been a good one as well? Have you been able to really maximize that as well?
Definitely. Well, I am part of the January cohort, and we started in January in 2020, and only attended the first week face-to-face, where we met the cohort and got to know our colleagues and so forth. Then came March. The second week of live sessions was scheduled in March. Unfortunately, due to the COVID situation, it was shifted to online, to virtual online sessions. To be fairly honest, the first day it was different and challenging, but the support team thankfully was very supportive, and they worked tirelessly in order for us to feel like everything was seamless and everything was okay. From a different point, I think the pandemic has shown us that there's a new shift to using online technology, and whoever thinks that we're going to reduce our dependency on it from now on might be very mistaken. It is different. We are humans that we like human and social interaction. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we're getting the hang of it. It was difficult. It was different, but yet exciting at the same time.
Great. Thank you for that, Rami. Hence the hybrid session that we're currently running as of now on as well, to try and maximize both the online technology as well as the face-to-face.
I'll go back to Musab now. Well, Musab, in terms of change, because a lot of people might be asking, what have changed after doing the MBA?
Well, I think you mean at the personal level,
Well, we would say professional and personal level.
Professional and personal level. I think I changed myself. When I joined the MBA program, my objectives was to progress within the company I worked for. Though I was comfortable, but it was part of self-development. But later, as I progressed through the program, and later when I graduated in 2019, I think I realized that that I have more skills, that I have gained different perspective. I've got exposed to different industries while I was working within the groups that when I mingled within the groups throughout the different models. And my objectives become, I've set myself different objectives, and which is, for example, I've worked for the oil and gas industry for the last 10 to 12 years, but now I have made a big shift recently that I'm going to move to the e-commerce industry. It is within the supply chain, but I think the MBA was one of the key factors that has made me to make such a decision. And also equipped me with a tool to be eligible or to be qualified for such shifts after a long time spent in certain industry, which is, I think, it's very interesting for others also to think about this, because the career change, industry change, maybe like Rami mentioned, that when you join MBA, you set yourself objectives. Well, you realize later that these objectives might have been too small after you have progressed through the programs, and you gain the in-depth knowledge of other industries, or maybe you change the way you think, and you change the way you see the business.
Well said. So thank you for that, and congratulations, by the way. Before we tune in, or before we transition the question to our audiences, I have one last question to Tim. Tim, a lot of people will be asking probably about the network, if it's really working, because we have the point there from Hiba, which is very astonishing. But I want to hear from you, Tim, in terms of your experience. How's the network you can build from the program?
Well, I recruited someone from my network, if that's a validation. Yeah, I think the network will serve you for your entire career, but again, it's like anything else. You have to nurture that. You have to invest in it. the way that the Manchester program is delivered through the Manchester method through this, you know, blended kind of direction of face-to-face and online learning, it gives you every opportunity to meet and to learn from new people. And I think it goes back to the original answer I gave. It's about just throwing yourself into it and really just appreciating that actually you'll get more out of this if you work together collaboratively as a team, you know, as the group work will encourage you to do. Learn from each other, you know, be afraid, you know, don't be afraid of you know, giving your insights around how you're finding the program. You know, you'd actually be, you know, surprised to hear that a lot of people are in exactly the same boat. So coming together, you know, in order to drive further value from the program is really, really important. I still have, you know, a wealth of contacts from, you know, both from an academic sense from the people that I was actually engaged with the program with through to the staff of the business school. In many ways, I feel as if it's a kind of almost an extended family in many ways. They've always been there for me whenever I've called on them, whether that's career advice, personal advice, whatever. You know, I think that's a real differentiator of the program. It's
Thank you.
You know, extremely personable.
Appreciate that, Tim. Now we can ask if there's any questions from our audiences, and please, we would like to ask you first here before we move to our audiences in the Zoom. Anyone have a question for our alumni or to Kiba, of course, about experiences or questions about the program you might be having? All right, we can come back to you. Is there any questions from our Zoom?
They're just trying to understand if the additions which are July intake are the discounts or still applicable for ones which we're offering in January.
For the
The
discount.
extended discounts which we're offering in January, is it valid for July as well?
What we are offering in July would be the discount of the 10%, as you would know. I mean, we have to understand the reason behind we give a discount in January because of the situation we faced during the earlier times of last year. But 10% is given for the July semester, and that will be given for those of you who will complete the application and the process the earliest time possible. For those of you who are under the corporate discount we can provide, there's 15% for that. And yes, like what we said, we're here to counsel you. The moment you're ready to talk to us about it, I mean, we'll be more than happy to discuss details about prices and improvements. Good. More questions?
Yeah, there's a question. Are there any financing options for my MBA study?
Financing options. We are still working with Emirates NBD as still applicable for the discount. It's going to be an installment basis through their banks, of course. We have them to assist you in terms of applying for a card to them. But again, it's a deal between you and the bank. It's not about us. We can only honor the deal between you and the bank. And of course, that's going to be an installment basis. We also have the 6 months payment, as you would know. In the next 2 years, it's going to be a payment of every 6 months. In the event, for example, that you need to take a break, you don't have to pay for anything. So in some cases that you wish to take a break, like William said earlier, you don't need to pay anything, take a break, come back to the program again. You have until 5 years to do it. It again depends on what you want to do in terms of your program, in terms of your success. I always believe that it's not about you completing the degree right away. It's about you experiencing it every step of the way. And like what Tim a while back said, you'll be going to be building networks, friends here, extended families, as you would say. So it's not a loss, if you're not going to be completing the program within 2 years. Yeah.
So just to clarify for the Emirates NBD offer that we have, so it's basically a credit card that you need to apply for. This allows you to then pay in monthly installments instead. So you're breaking down the semester fee into 6 equal monthly installments instead of the 0% interest. So that's instead of paying the entire fees through your own pocket, you're paying through the credit card, and then you pay it back every month in equal installments. So that's what we do have. I'd like to maybe focus on different things. Rami, since we don't have any other questions at the moment from the crowd.
I do have a question, sorry.
Ah, yes. Who do we have?
Sorry, yes. I've just got a quick question. My name is Khaled. I'll be doing the accelerated MBA program. Now, what you mentioned earlier, that the first year is going to be in Dubai, is this also applicable for the accelerated program?
Easier, I'm sorry, Khalid?
It's a global accelerated.
Okay, are you now, he already in January semester, right?
Yeah.
And you, the question is, sorry, I didn't get the question.
So I am already enrolled for the January program, but you also mentioned that for the first year of the MBA, it's going to be in Dubai. Is this also applicable for the accelerated MBA programs?
No, I mean, in your case, Khalid, will be the first workshop will be happening in UK, not in Dubai. That is for the global accelerated MBA.
So
Virtually, yes, of course.
For the accelerated MBA, Khaled, depending obviously on COVID situations and restrictions at the moment, obviously it is currently virtually, but usually what would happen is that your first workshop would be in the UK for about 5 or 6 days. The second one would be in Shanghai in China. The third one, you do it in the UAE. The fourth one would be back in Manchester, and your fifth and final one, you'd be able to select the center where you'd like to finish your elective workshops as well. So no, for you, you don't have to, well, you won't be in Dubai if you're on the Global Accelerated, but because of the current situation, of course, it will be done online. For all those on the Global MBA program, the first 4 workshops have to be done in Dubai. This is mandatory, and the last 2 workshops can be done in any of Manchester's global centers. I hope that clarifies your question.
It does, but there is, I think, a slight change in schedule due to the current situation in the UK. I think the first workshop will be done in Dubai, but I'm not sure about the second one, because the second one is Dubai, but will they actually switch them around in case that the situation loosen up a little bit by May? So that, I think that's for a later stage for us to know, I guess.
Correct, yes. So here it will be done as part of the hybrid sessions, workshops that we do here in Dubai. I don't know if Amna, you'd like to...
We have Amna here from the support team. Amna would love to step in.
Hi, hello. Hi, everyone virtually. Hello, everyone in the room. Yes, Khalid, you're right. I mean, of course, given the current circumstances, this is the next best that could be facilitated for all the students, where we have arranged for virtual workshops in center in Dubai. And this is the reason why Global Accelerated students could not have traveled, not just due to the current situation. But if the situation did not exist, you would be taking your first workshops in Manchester, and as William said, the second in Shanghai, third in Dubai, and the fourth in Manchester, and fifth anywhere else. But yes, you're right. There will be virtual workshop in center for Global Accelerated students held here in Dubai exceptionally.
Maybe you could elaborate on the virtual workshops and centers in general, and also for the globals in case this continues for perspective.
Absolutely. So we don't know what the situation that we're in, for how long we're in this, and we've been, as Rami also mentioned, the first day of all the students who attended a virtual workshop was a little jittery, but then with the support system and with the virtual environment that we have, and with all the planning that was done behind the virtual workshops, we have been able to help students progress in their MBA program. However, now that the restrictions in the UAE have slightly eased, we have now been approved to run hybrid workshops, to deliver teaching and learning in a hybrid mode, which means that all the students who are scheduled to attend workshops have the option of either attending a virtual workshop from their home, or they can attend virtual workshop in a center, which we will manage similar to this event. So they will be attending virtual workshop, although because the academics are not able to fly into Dubai from Manchester given the current circumstances. But then they will be able to at least sit in a room together with fellow students, do group work together, do group discussions, exchange ideas, and get the most out of the network as much as possible. Now we know that the region itself currently is not in a situation where everyone is comfortable or able to travel. but at least all those who can come to a workshop and sit in a room together, that is the best possible usage of the network and the opportunity that you can get out of virtual workshop and center. We are planning, we will continue this arrangement for as long as we are not able to go 100% back to face as we were pre-COVID. But this is definitely something that we know will work and that will add a lot of value to your MBA program and to your learning journey. Hence, this is not an online program. This is a blended learning program.
Obviously, with the presence of our prominent alumni and teaching assistants,
yes,
as approved academic adjuncts.
So what we've done is that to ensure that the learning environment is enriched and students get the most out of it, we have teaching assistants who will be assisting every room, will be there in every room where there's teaching being delivered. We have a teaching assistant here, we have a teaching assistant there. Tim's also one of our teaching assistants. So this is a very successful model that we know will definitely assist in your learning journey. Khalid, did I answer your question now after this long answer? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Well, that was very informative.
Thank you. I'm not please remain. I just want to have a quick, so for them to have a better understanding about the support that we can give you. I think that's the most important thing, because from the recruitment side, from the advisor side, we're here to help you out to get into the program. That's our job. Our job is to ensure that you get into the program, of course, on your qualifications. But then again, you have the support system coming from online, and our team will be looking after your journey from day one until you graduate. You also have Hiba from the career side. So I'm going to just give them a little bit of an insight from people from Zoom, of course, and the audience is here. In terms of support,
Sure.
How do you do that?
Sure, absolutely. And I won't give a long answer this time, I promise. But it's important for you all to know that we understand and appreciate that a lot of you are coming back to study after a very long time. And this is not the typical kind of study that you've done in your undergrad or in your previous masters or your on-campus programs. There's a lot of adapting to do, there's a lot of adjustments to do, there's a lot of compromises to do. And we, the student support team, actually assist the students with getting through all of that. Life will happen, work will happen, marriages, children, God forbid, separations, new jobs, everything will happen while you're doing your MBA, and we've seen it happen. To carry on with your MBA journey, while all of that is happening in the background, you will need all the support possible from one person who's been there with you from the start of your journey till the time you graduate. And that will be your student advisor. Each one of the students who join the program are assigned one student advisor who sees them throughout their MBA program, the entire journey. Cannot access Blackboard, need to take a break. I am getting married in the next 6 months. I cannot carry on with the MBA. I need an interruption. I'm not able to submit my assignment on time. I have mitigating circumstances. All of that. We are your administrative point of contact for your program. We will assist you throughout your program in terms of your workshop schedules, your dates, your assignments, your program schedules, your study plan, and wherever you need counseling on how to juggle and manage between everything that's going on. So I think with a lot of pride, I can say that, alhamdulillah, we've been able to support many, many students who graduated successfully throughout the program. And we take a lot of pride in the work we do and making your dreams come true. So you have all our help, all our support. Please make sure whenever you enroll that you have your student advisor as your best friend, and we're always there to help for sure. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We can only take one round because of our time, unfortunately.
I am very conscious of time as well. Most of you have been staying with us past the hour, but I'd just like to ask a quick question to Rami, because I think this is quite valuable to people here who would be joining a program during, busy times. You as a working professional who may not have, traditional hours anymore, because maybe you're working in the evenings, you may be working from home as well. How were you able to kind of cope with that as well? How have you been structuring your time accordingly to be able to study and make sure you cover the material and interact with your colleagues as well in the program?
Definitely. This is a very valid point, and I think this was one of the most challenging aspects throughout the past year is to how can I better manage my time, especially with the family obligations, with work commitments, with business trips, and with studying as well. I just want to say to current students and to prospective students who are thinking about this, is that usually there's like a halo around the MBA that it's extremely difficult. Well, it's not difficult. It only needs time, commitment, and dedication. In my personal experience, I was advised to take 2 to 3 hours each day in order to recap on the reading and catch up on the course materials and everything. I tried this approach, and honestly, it didn't work out well for me. So basically what I did my own schedule, I did it at my own pace. And now I've been catching up over the weekends. I'm dedicating 2 full days, resting, as well as taking the opportunity to read. And I think it's working out for me. So my advice for any of these students is to they have to develop their schedule according to their own pace, and I think they'll be fine. Just to take into consideration not to procrastinate, just to stay on top of things, and they'll be just fine.
If I may, Rami, if I can add to that, I learned about the concept of stealing time. So that meant if you find yourself for 20 minutes during the day, and you got a cup of tea, you got a cup of coffee or something, grab your book, just start reading it. Be amazed at how if you can add up those little chunks of time during the day, that's going to make a big difference. So yeah, that's one of the things I learned. I agree. Any value to the rest of you guys.
Yes.
Thank you. Musa, what's your best practices?
Time management, it's mainly like Rami mentioned, I think it's just don't procrastinate, just don't leave things to the last minute. I think the minute the material is published on the blackboard, just grab the material, and if you want to expand at early stage, it's much easier for you when you're doing the assignment at later stage. And just I would say you would be learning slowly in how to master the reading and become more efficient in your readings and know exactly what to focus on. But yes, it's time management. Again, I focus on the time management first, and last is the time management.
And what would you advise as a parting word, Musa, for those of them who are still confused or probably needs more answer why would like to do the MBA? What would you advise them?
I think it's a major investment. It takes a lot of thinking to take this step. And like many mentioned, when I took the investment, I had a new baby, I had a new assignment at work, but I still went for the MBA because I've seen others who have concluded these programs. I noticed a change in the way they do things, in the way they carry business. I see also at the personal level how they develop themselves. So I think it is a lot of work to do, but it's manageable load, and it's worth the effort to go for the program. So all the best luck for everybody. And I'm sure if we did it, then everybody here in the classroom can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Musa. Rami, same questions, if you don't mind. Any advice you could give us to our audiences today?
I think we may have lost Rami, but Tim, if you'd like to add anything to that.
Oh, there it is.
Yes. Well, basically, for the advice, my main piece of advice is to stay on top of things. Just do not put things off and say, I still have time, because, well, you wouldn't have time. So this is the most important aspect. The second aspect is that something Tim mentioned earlier, is that don't be afraid to ask questions. We are all in the same boat, so you can draw on the experiences of the alumni, of the current students, and always ask for support and help if you feel that you might not be able to perform or to submit an assignment, or if you have anything that is not clear for you. So basically, these are my two main points.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you. Tim, any parting words?
Well, I think, in addition to what I said earlier about, just throwing yourself into it, as Rami reiterated, not being afraid to ask questions. You'd be amazed at how many people are, feeling similar things to you. So, be open, trust in yourself, have confidence. And I think at the end of the day, just a reflection about what I'm seeing in the market and how businesses are going to change in the future. I think hard skills are on the downslope. I think people who are agile, who are able to learn, and having the ability to learn is a skill in itself. That is going to be increasingly important as people's careers going all different kinds of directions over the next generation. I think that's what Manchester gives you. It gives you that ability to learn. It gives you that resilience as an individual. It gives you that emotional intelligence that is so needed in your career, and ultimately a network and confidence. So if you're prepared to acquire all of those things in 2 years at Manchester, then you're absolutely in the right place.
So thank you, Tim. Thank you. Hiba, you've been working with different individuals, diverse professionals. Any advice you can provide to us?
I think, like they said, procrastination is your worst enemy. If you really want to do something, just do it now. If you've set a goal for yourself, make sure that 2021 is the year for you to set that goal. So if MBA is within your reach, and if it's one of your goals for this year, just go ahead and do it. If you have any doubt, just ask questions and understand how it can help you, how the MBA can fit within your personal and professional journey. We are here to help you. The alumni are here to help you. Just don't think twice. I mean, this program has proven to be a bit difficult, challenging, but it's also manageable. So dig deeper, jump into it, and ask us questions if you're in doubt.
Thank you, Hiba. I can see a lot of questions, William, in our chat box tonight, and we would love to answer those later on. We'll probably send you an email because we don't have much time right now. And we would like to thank everyone for coming here tonight. I know it's a difficult time, but you're still here, and we appreciate your presence tonight. Thank you, Musa, once again. Thank you, Rami. And thank you, Tim, for accommodating us tonight. William?
No problem.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure having you with us this evening, Tim, Rami. Also, thank you very much, Hiba, for your contribution. Thank you all for being here this evening. Obviously, these are difficult times, and obviously you being here today proves real commitment and dedication. So thank you for being here. Obviously, we are at your disposal after the event as well. If you have any sort of questions that you'd like to ask us individually, we're more than happy to do so. For those online, please feel free to get in touch with us as well through different channels. You can go on our website, manchester.ac.ae. You can go on the Manchester Global MBA page and submit a callback request or download a brochure to get in touch with us. We will get, obviously, in touch with you very soon if required. And with that being said, I'd like to wish you all a very, very pleasant evening, and we look forward to our next event as well. And for those of you who aren't here physically and face-to-face, we do have food on the side if you'd like to grab it. Thank you.
We can still have a chat with them later on, yeah?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.